Hello and welcome to LifeTalk with Mariette. I am Mariette. I'm so glad you're here. Let me know in the comments or send me a message where you are listening or watching. I love knowing where my stories find their way. Here I share thoughts, experiences, and stories that touch us, inspire us, and sometimes challenge us. Whether you're in the middle of life or figuring things out anew, you're not alone because we don't have time to get old, only time to grow. Let's take this journey together. And in today's program, we're going to talk about build yourself first before the world walks away. And I like to share a few quotes that I made for you today. Emotional survival means knowing who you are when no one needs you anymore. That's a very strong quote. I'll repeat it because I love it, because I made it. Emotional survival means knowing who you are when no one needs you anymore. Also, build your strength quietly so when the storm comes, you don't break, you lead. So let's get on with the show. So the topic is build yourself first before the world walks away. And this is a story about Sarah and what she experienced. Sarah sat in the kitchen, the soft hum of the dishwasher, the only sound in the house. It was 5:45 a.m., her one moment of peace before the chaos of the day began. Two kids are still asleep. Um, the husband already gone to work, a job she didn't love but needed. She looked at her planner, soccer practice, grocery list, client calls, school project, birthday party. Okay, her life was a never-ending loop of service. She didn't mind, not really. She loved her family, but some part of her, quiet but persistent, kept whispering, "What about you? What about you?" Sarah pushed the thought aside. She didn't have time for that. But something had shifted. Her oldest daughter, Lily, now 11, was changing. Less time for cuddles, more time with friends. We all know about that. Less curiosity about what mom thought, more independence. Her son followed close behind. Her husband came home later and later, and their conversations had turned into logistics. She knew she was needed, but she also knew deep inside this wouldn't last. Kids grow, partners drift, employers replace. Life moves on. And where would that leave her? Well, we're going to find out today. Then she had a wake-up call. It happened on a Tuesday. The company had layoffs. Sarah survived, but her best friend at work didn't. Watching her friend pack up her box with tears in her eyes rattled Sarah to the core. What if it had been her? What skills could she sell? What identity did she have beyond mom, wife, and employee? That night she wrote one question in her journal. Who am I if no one needs me? The silence that followed was deafening. She didn't quit her job. She didn't walk away from her family, but she began to build quietly. She started waking up 30 minutes earlier, not to fold laundry, but to write. She had always loved writing, essays, reflections, even short stories. She started posting them on a small blog. No one read them at first, but it didn't matter. It was hers. Next, she signed up for an online course, digital marketing. She had helped her husband with his landscaping business and realized she had a knack for messaging. One course became two, then three. On weekends, she took on small projects. She didn't announce anything, no fanfare, but inside, something powerful was growing. Herself. Alongside the skill building came something else, emotional awareness. She began to understand how much of her sense of worth was tied to being needed, and how dangerous that was. She started therapy, not because she was falling apart, but because she wanted to learn how to hold herself together. She journaled, meditated. She stopped trying to be available to everyone 24/7. Some people noticed. Some didn't like it. Her husband found it confusing. Why are you taking these courses? Are you planning something? She smiled. I'm building something. That's all. He shrugged, but Sarah didn't need his permission anymore. And then she had some conversation and got clarity. One afternoon, her daughter came into the kitchen. Mom, can we talk? Sarah closed her laptop. Of course. Lily looked nervous. You've been different. I mean, good different. You're like focused, but not on me. It's weird. Sarah laughed softly. I'm still focused on you, sweetie, but I'm also focused on me because one day you won't need me like you do now, and I want to be ready for that. Lily thought for a moment. That makes sense. They hugged, a deep, understanding kind of hug. 6 months later, her husband came home with news. They're cutting half of the staff. I might be next. He was pale, panicked. Sarah took his hand. Then we figure it out. I've started freelancing. I have some money coming in. We're not at zero. His eyes widened. You never told me. You never asked, she replied gently. It wasn't a moment of revenge. It was a moment of power. She had built a safety net, not just financially, but emotionally. They made it through that year barely, but Sarah held steady because she had prepared. Sarah began connecting with other women, online at first, then in person. Women who had once given everything to others and had nothing left for themselves. They met monthly, talked openly, shared resources, supported each other. Some started a business. Others wrote books. Some just needed a place to say, I miss who I used to be. Sarah started speaking publicly. She called her talk, Build Yourself First, before the world walks away. It resonated because it was true. And we all know, you've heard the expression, pay yourself first. Well, in Sarah's case, and in our program today, build yourself first before the world walks away. Children grow up, partners change, employers disappear. If you don't know who you are beneath all of those roles, you will collapse when they do. Now she has a new legacy. Years later, her daughter Lily sent her a text from college. Thank you for showing me what it means to stand strong. I started my own little Etsy shop, and I thought of you. Sarah cried, not because of pride, but because she knew she had broken a cycle. She hadn't waited to be lost to find herself. She had started early, while life was full, while she was busy, while the world still expected her to be everything for everyone. She had chosen to be something for herself. And now she was never truly alone. What we're taking away from this message today, this isn't just a story, it's a reminder. Don't wait for the house to go quiet. Don't wait for your job to end or your marriage to dissolve. Don't wait for your kids to stop listening. Start now, while they're still little, while your schedule is full, while you think you don't have time. You do. Build your voice, build your income, build your emotional survival. Get around people who are building too. Because the world will change, people will come and go, But if you have you, you will never be truly lost. And before we go, today I have a couple of more quotes I'd like to share with you. The best time to build yourself is before the applause stops. How true that is. If you were not born to serve others, you were born to rise, independent, prepared, whole. Thank you for being here today. If my story touched you or gave you something to think about, feel free to share it or message me and let me know what you took from it. Subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a single episode. And don't forget, life changes and we grow with every experience. Till next time, Mariette Camera.